Janet Lorin is on the education watch. She does tuition, bills, and the agony of it all. In your new story on parents up to their eyeballs in debt, how much worse is it than 5 years ago?
Well, they're borrowing a lot more, and part of the reason is because the cost of college keeps going up, and parents...
It's sick.
Yeah.
Okay, put up this quote here right now. Get this quote up, folks. You got to see this story at Bloomberg.com at Trinity College in Hartford, where annual tuition and fees are 55 large. Parents who took out federal loans borrowed 27. So they're coming out $100,000 in debt.
Yeah, that's just in 1 year. But that number doesn't include the interest paid and the accrued interest if they're deferring their loans.
Are the interest paid lower than it would normally be that we think about? Is it like 2 or 3% interest?
No, it's a 7.9 interest rate. That's a government plus loan. That's a guaranteed rate. And if you were to go in the private market, it would likely be lower, but it wouldn't be a fixed rate.
Okay, I want to get into the microeconomics of this, not only this story, but others. Here's a chart we used in the debate up in New Hampshire at Dartmouth, which is like $1 million a year. Unemployment rate, no college. You can see it down there, Janet. And you can see unemployment rate, college. College is still a value. Are people applying less to these fancy schools?
This year there was a drop-off at some of the schools. Some of the experts out there said that you just can't sustain 35,000 applications at a place like Harvard or Columbia. You know, kids see the 6% admit rate and, you know, they say, why bother if I'm not going to get in? Why should I waste my money applying?
Yeah, there's a quote here from Fieldston School, just a bit north of New York City here. Laura Clark, if there's a drop-off in the number of applications in the middle income group, key phrase there, that's when colleges may moderate prices or come up. But there's still that aspirational thing. In your reporting, have you seen aspirations shift?
Well, everybody still aspires to go to a terrific school. The prices are just very high. For example, I mentioned Boston College in my story, and that's $57,000 for this current year. You've got to take into consideration that the prices are going up every year on average 4 or 5%. So what your child may start with when they're freshmen is likely to be an increase of 20% by the time they're a senior.
One thing you've been great about is it's not Harvard, Harvard, Dartmouth, Harvard, Harvard, Princeton, 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 talking about 4 or 5 different schools. You're looking at the schools around them. They have so many disadvantages compared to the heavily endowed schools, don't they?
Absolutely. They are what is considered to be tuition-driven schools. And what that means is they derive a lot of their operating revenue from your tuition, from your check. And they can't supplement the financial aid budget with money from their endowment because their endowments are tiny compared to Harvard or Princeton or Yale.
How many schools are kids applying to this year?
It's hard to tell, but you know, of the kids who aspire, you know, they may be applying to 8, 10, 12 schools because they see these numbers.
Did you see the application fees?
Yeah.
You got to take out a loan for the application fees.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's ridiculous. Janet, thank you so much. Janet Lorin of our education team, a must read on the debt that parents are picking up.